There are two parts to my question, which is about power.
Is it about what?
Power. And the first part is, what is personal power, and how do I stay connected to it in my everyday life?
Personal power is alignment. Personal power is alignment with the signal. In other words, we've been talking about it here today, that there is you having your experience causing clarity about what you want, and source energy in agreement with that, setting forth a vibration that represents a large part of who you are. So power or empowerment is about you in your day-to-day dealings being in alignment with that you have set forth. And you know that you are in your power, the better you feel. The better you feel, the more you are in your power. The worse you feel, the more you've got enough contradiction going on in your vibration that there's static in your signal and you're not right on signal, you see.
Okay.
Jerry and Esther have a satellite dish, several of them on top of the monster bus, and one of them is for internet. And if they are in a nice clear space where there are no trees around, Esther can set her computer into a mode, and the satellite dish on the roof of the monster bus goes up and begins searching the sky. And sometimes it takes quite a while. In other words, it's looking everywhere for its signal. And sometimes Esther will go out and watch it, and she can see it as it's looking here and 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 then looking here. And then it's as if it says, well, it's not over there, so then it will look over there, and 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 then it will look over there. And as long as it's still moving around, Esther knows it's nowhere near. But then all of a sudden, she will see it. She can feel the attitude of it. He will say, oh, you're somewhere in here, and she can see it just aligning, and then all of a sudden, she sees it stop, and she will announce, it's locked on. In other words, it's locked on to the signal, and now I can receive my internet or whatever I am wanting. But as long as it's not locked on, she can play with her computer all day long, and she's not going to get anything. In other words, the signals have to be locked on. That's where your power is. It's when you lock on. Only it's not a visual thing for you. It's a visceral thing. It's something that you feel in your solar plexus. It's the emotions that you feel.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to goose up your ability to recognize when you're locked on, then fan the flames of your desire a little bit, because the more actively you have fanned the flames of your desire, the more you will be able to feel the vibrational relativity between those active desires and where you stand relative to it. People sometimes say, Abraham, is it normal for all hell to break loose in one's life when they begin doing Abraham work? And we say yes. Because the first thing that happens is you start clarifying your desire, and so you get that part of your vibration playing a more active part within you. And then what you're doing on a day-to-day basis with your thoughts really shows up. You can really feel when you're in alignment, when you're in your power, and when you're not.
Okay.
Have you noticed that on some subjects you're in your power, and on some subjects you're not? Do you know people who are utterly feeling secure about money, but not relative to relationships? So it's possible, isn't it,
Yes,
to be in your
yes.
power on one subject and not on another, because
Yes.
on one subject your thoughts track right along with everything that you want, while on another subject you're still looking at what is instead of about what you are wanting.
Okay.
That's why we're encouraging you to play this game where you do your best to make peace with where you are.
Right.
And making peace with where you are goes like this. It's like, well, here I am, and there's where I want to be. And eventually I will be there in good time. Not making the best of it, or not being at peace with where you are, is I want to be over there, but I'm over here. But I want to be over there, but I'm over here. In other words, you've got to soften that feeling of discord between where you are and where you want to be. And as you begin to practice that on any subject that comes up, before you know it, you will have released so much resistance. You will be truly doing what we call the art of allowing, where so many of the things that you've been asking for that are just ripe and ready for you to receive, you now let into your experience because you're relaxed and no longer pushing them away with a contradictory vibration.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. So the second part of my question is about power, politics, and the law of attraction. Back home, my husband is the leader of a political party, and he wants to be in government after the next general election. Now, because he's not remotely interested in Abraham, he's pursuing his goals both positively and negatively. So the people who are in government...
Well, he is in politics, after all.
He is in politics. And the people who are in government, they're not interested in Abraham either, so they're doing exactly the same thing he's doing. And the voters are being love-bombed by both sides. So then I come along, and because I am interested in Abraham, every day I hold my intention, which is that I will see him leading a lean, effective, efficient government that's working for the people. So my question is, how does the law of attraction work with all of these different elements of wanting?
Well, the most significant thing we want to say to you is that as you are doing a wonderful thing, as you are looking at his situation in a way that feels good to you. In other words, you're choosing thoughts that bring you into alignment when you choose them. So your work as far as alignment and our work as far as coaching you into alignment is really done. But then you say, but Abraham, I would like to take this further. I would like to come into alignment, and then I would like to influence the outcome of something else. And we say, that's not your job.
Okay.
Your job is to come into alignment. Law of attraction is going to affect the outcome, you see.
Right.
So as you demonstrate alignment, in other words, what could be better for your husband than to hear your confidence and your belief in him and your compliments about his wisdom and his caring? What could be better to help him to find alignment, you see?
Okay.
And so you teach through the power of your example. But what we've noticed in terms of law of attraction and politics is that for the most part, we're wanting to find a tactful way of saying this. Oh, there isn't one. The Democrats did not seem to win the most recent U.S. election, but they contributed most votes toward the Republican win.
Right.
Because there were more of them who cared, and more of them who cared more, and more of them who focused upon that what they did not want. And so those who won were pushing against the other too, but they were not pushing against the other as much as the other was pushing against the other. You get a sense of what we're talking about? And so we don't want to hurt your feelings or your husband's feelings either, but we want to say to you that you are casting your votes vibrationally anyway.
Right.
And the universe is responding to the vibrational casting of votes. And the politics, which want to take so much credit about the way the world is moving, are not as significant as a tiny little flea on the back of a very big dog.
Okay.
In other words, they are living their world, and it is what they are doing is important to their lives, but in terms of the world effect, it is not the big deal that they are all making it out to be, you see. So play in whatever game you want to play in, and make yourself happy in whatever way you want to. In other words, we are not saying that what they're doing isn't beneficial for them or that they should stop doing it. We think everyone should do what they're wanting to do. But don't sit in a place believing that you have to find some way of changing the tide of politics in order to make the world a better place.
Okay.
Because there are billions of people on the planet having their individual experiences, and with every experience they have, they are launching rockets of desire that source is receiving fully. And so everyone is being heard, and everyone is being heard all day, every day. It's huge. The problem with the individual lives not being satisfied is not that they are not being heard, and it is not that they are not being answered. It's that they are then pushing so hard about what they do not want that they are most everyone is holding themselves in a place where they are not letting in the very things that they are asking for. Okay. And that's what you are going to demonstrate to your mate. In other words, he doesn't have to hear about Abraham or even listen to the idea of law of attraction. But as you feel good, as you hold him as your object of attention, you benefit him. And it wouldn't hurt to let him know that you work to do that, that you care about feeling good. And you don't hold him in a positive light because you're trying to change him or alter him or fix him or change him in any way. Right. You do it because it helps you feel better. And you're feeling good, and your alignment is of primary importance to you. And as he begins to recognize your magic, because it appears like that to those who do not understand, then little by little you'll start hearing him, holding his thought more the way he wants it to be.
Okay.
And it doesn't take too many having wonderful results before people start sitting up and taking notice, you see.
Okay.
No one is happy until they are in full empowerment of their own experience. And everything that you see happening that's of a negative nature, including the terrorism and all the wars that are surrounding it, is about people feeling insecure. It's about believing that I have no control over what happens to me and I need to do something to you to keep you from doing something to me. The whole basis of it is a feeling of disempowerment.
Okay.
It will be wonderful to see a few people in a place where they are receiving some public attention who have brought their own personal lives into their own control.
Okay.
And once you do that, and you demonstrate it in a meaningful way to others, that can catch on pretty fast because that's what everyone wants.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.